Evening, everyone, and welcome to the Anvils of Connor YouTube channel. Just woken up from a post-Boxing Day piss-up, essentially, and I thought I would see fit on my promise to do a little video. There were some people online who didn't like the idea, but go fuck yourself. So I thought I'd do, the little unboxing, Boxing Day unboxing of the Underhive Market Zone Mortalis kit. Okay, I've very quickly opened this just to see that everything was inside, and I thought I'd just do a pretty frank and honest kind of review, so to speak, of the contents of this box. Now, I've kind of since they reviewed it or they previewed it rather on Warhammer Community, I've liked the idea of getting hold of this. I think there are many things that one could do using like kit bashing and all this kind of stuff. You know, whether it's baby wipes that have been hardened with PVA glue and all this kind of stuff. But I think this is a nice little sort of starting point, if you will, for any kind of humanizing, if you will. Using, if you will, quite a bit, but any kind of humanizing or lived-in aspect of Necromunda, especially where you have these, absolute dregs of society living in relative squalor and scraping to get by, and having these sorts of weird markets where who the hell knows what is going on with what they're selling. So, without further ado, then let's have a cheeky look at this set and delve into the box. Okay, so instructions. Nobody needs you. Well, maybe we might need you later, but at this moment in time, not awfully important. So having looked at it already, it looks like there are two separate sprues, but they are functionally identical. So I'm going to get the fuck rid of this one, and we will focus on the one sprue and have a closer look at what precisely is going on, what is available on the sprue, what sort of jiggery pokery one could get up to in constructing their marketplace, if you will. And we'll sort of take it from there. So, I mean, it looks like there's an awful lot of little tarpaulins and roofs, if you will. Oh, God, I've got to stop saying if you will. You can tell that I've woken up and I'm a little bit tired, a little bit hungover. Did you ever get that when you're hungover, when you wake up and it's the evening and it's sort of, okay, well, I've done this to myself, so I can't really complain. And also just thirsty for delicious water and really want to go to bed because I have work tomorrow. But I have to deliver to you kind followers of mine. So here we go. So it looks like you have the tarpaulins, which look pretty fancy, pretty great, to be perfectly honest. Will do very, very well indeed. Lots of opportunity for the use of washes, I expect, when you're making or painting your little delightful Agrabah style stands for Necromunda. You have all sorts of beams and supports for said tarpaulins and structures, and you got a couple of crates. Crates are aplenty. I'll be honest, almost too many of these things. Let's flip this over so you can see precisely what's inside. These crates are a nice departure from existing crates within Necromunda stroke 40k, where you have just guns or magazines, especially for things like las guns. But this has all sorts of gubbins inside. Okay, so you see all sorts of wrenches and screwdrivers and maybe a cheeky grenade. I'm not sure I would feel comfortable organising my things in such a manner. However, it is the Underhive, so who am I to judge? Who am I to judge? You have a little partition. This is a particularly nice piece, actually, and I dare say these bits will go very well. I can see the likes of Solvents or Leonard Dime sadly can't remember his YouTube channel, but very, very good with converting all manner of scenery and bits and bobs for Necromunda. But I can see the likes of them using these little plaques, for example, in abundance to further flesh out and detail their Necromunda projects and whatnot. Again, a few more little supports, things along those lines. Now, you do, in this kit, you have an awful lot of little placards or signs, so to speak, so that will do very nicely. I've seen people, well, on the box, they actually have painted things like rats and stuff like that. I think, frankly, rats would be rather a delicacy within Necromunda. So you could have anything that you wanted: guns, ammo, rats, girls, boys, everything in between, all this kind of stuff. Just to make it look a little bit more, again, the idea of having lived in scenery, I think is absolutely splendid. So it really creates an environment where you can imagine absolute, high spirers and dregs of society alike rubbing shoulders and milling around in this sort of, dilapidated, smelly marketplace, so to speak. So you have artifacts that you can put within your little hive market. Okay, so there's a couple of guns. There's you've got some sort of fuel cell sort of thing, which could come in quite handy if you wanted to use in games as objectives for Zone Mortalis and so on and so forth. Very, very useful. There's a little bucket. You've got a couple of guns as well. Where are we? So there's a little, some sort of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire tricorder cup. I mean, what the hell? Sorry for the Harry Potter reference. I'm not really massively keen on those films, but little tricorder cup. You've got some sort of crazy Archaeotech rifle, sort of repeater lasgun, which would do very nicely on some sort of conversion either way of a character. So either way, so we have an awful lot going on. Oh God, we've got a couple of cups as well. Look at that. Very recently I did a conversion. In fact, I will bring it onto the beautiful silver screen. Very recently I did a little conversion for a column, and you can see there's a bit of work that needs doing just to fill the gaps with this piece here. But I wanted to do a kind of Sector 7G, Homer Simpson nuclear power plant kind of vibe. You have all sorts of switches and bits and bobs, and I've done a mixture of green stuff and milliput to roll out into these little cables. So it dries very nice and hard. You don't have to worry about it breaking because I'm not going to be yeeting this anywhere. But yeah, so we had a little cup from a Bretonian kit, one of the old plastic Bretonian kits that are worth their weight in gold, let's say. Very, very difficult. And I think there was a hobbyist on Instagram who very kindly donated this little cup. But yeah, a little recaf, as they call it, in their 40k, and I'm sure in 30k as well. There may be examples within Black Library of just random menials being like, oh God, here's the grind. It's the day after Sanguinala. I feel like hammered shit, and I need a little bit of caffeine in my life. So I'm gonna have some recaf. I imagine the caffeine that we have at our disposal in the 21st century is maybe a little bit more nuanced and delightful than what they might have available, unless you were extraordinarily wealthy in the 30k or 40k universe. So, but yeah, little cup, little sippy cup. Just going to double check, just to make sure there's nothing different at all on the second sprue. But it looks like it is absolutely the same. I'm a massive fan of this gauze or sort of support, and I think that within the box and instructions, this is the sort of situation or texture surface, let's say, that you would put your random wares for sale within the Underhive. So, but these, I can see these coming in particularly handy in all manner of different conversions and things. So keep your eye out for those on things like eBay, because they will be absolutely invaluable. I will certainly try and snap things up, have a look at a little post-booze, post-food, drunken eBay purchase kind of territory where you can get all manner of deals at your leisure, okay? But either way, I reckon this little box set, really, really fantastic. An excellent way to spice up your terrain, your board as well. I'm planning to do a little mock-up of some stalls underneath the elevated walkways, and I've been doing some elevated pipelines recently as well, just to have a really lived-in feel, to make it a more convincing landscape for games like Zone Mortalis and or Necromunda. Not 40k, because 40k can go fuck itself because the timeline is absolutely horseshit. Either way, a very, very good way to sort of to make a very detailed and varied landscape and sort of board. But there we go. So the Zone Mortalis Hive Market, if that's what it's called, the Hive Market. Get your set. I don't care where from. Just they are very, very useful. And given the propensity of Games Workshop to randomly and suddenly discontinue scenery sets, it may be worthwhile getting a couple of these just for future projects. I certainly feel extremely anxious only having the one for aforementioned reasons. Because I know that these things will be like rocking horse shit at sometime or another. But there we go. So anyway, I hope you've all had a very Merry Christmas wherever you are, whoever you are, however you've been enjoying this festive season. I hope the hobby horn is strong with you all, and that Chris Kringle delivered all manner of different Christmas bits and bobs. Speaking of which, I managed to get hold of some Forge World Vorax for my Pravian of the 14th Legion, the very best Legion, if you must know. And also I managed to get some Forge World Death Shroud to convert with the Tortuga Bay Terminators that I did a little video on about a week ago. But there we go. So until next time, I hope you're all well. Hope you're all good. Smash that subscribe. Honestly, it would be lovely to have more followers. Comment if you see it, if you see fit, so to speak, and like the video. Dislike the video if you want, but that just makes you a bad person. So there we go. And until next time, this is Jack from the Anvils of Connaught, and I hope you're all good. Yeah.